Angelo, that the bench unit, you guys were able to be impactful right away. You, Max, JJ kind of called out specifically. What did you see when you came in? What were you trying to bring?
Just as a group, I thought whatever we were going to do, we were going to do it collectively. And I thought we just kind of had each other's back on defense and offense. Spread the love.
JJ talked about the Reds and kind of that coverage, and playing against San Antonio means you're going to end up down low, kind of battling bigs a lot and trying to rebound and just having to be versatile. What is the key for a guard in that kind of a set?
Physical. Our Reds kind of got them in a position to shoot a bunch of jump shots, and all we got to do is rebound. Kind of made the game simple.
What have you seen from Max specifically? Just you kind of shared some minutes with him, and it seemed like he was pretty effective as well tonight.
Man, I appreciate his ability to just be coachable. Guys are hard on him. He's always coachable. Never lacks the knowledge. He's always wanting to learn. He's a sponge. I can go on forever about that guy, man. I love that guy.
Staying on Max, for a player like him, a young player like him, how important is it for him to just go out and play? Don't overthink.
It's not easy. It's not easy. Especially it's not easy here. So just keep your mind right and be ready when the time comes. But to answer your question, it's not easy. So it's doing all right.
Max, remember in the November 15th game here, you had one of your better performances, led the team in plus-minus, had another good night tonight. Where were you finding kind of some of the success and rhythm against the Spurs team here?
Honestly, I'm just playing. I don't think I'm really coming into the game thinking that I'm going to play well against the Spurs or not. I'm kind of just playing my game. I'm playing hard on both ends, and I was pretty aggressive tonight offensively, especially to start in the second half. So that felt really good. I think I kind of helped our team push that lead a little bit, and we got a good win.
Defensively, JJ talked about the Reds and kind of that being a big part of it. What does that entail for you, and how did you guys execute that?
When any team's really 1 through 5 red, you're going to be in a lot of mismatches. Wemby's a tall guy. Collins is a big dude down there too. So I was going to end up on some bigs, and I was going to end up on some smaller guards. I think I'm capable of guarding almost all positions. I think my fronts in the post have been really good, and then I think I do a good job on the perimeter as well. So, for me, it was just kind of just staying locked in on the matchups and just kind of communicating with the guys. Switching every single screen. So it worked out.
What was the key in tonight's third quarter to not fall back into what happened the last 2 games?
I think honestly, as a team, we acknowledged it at halftime. We said, hey, we got to come out and really make them call the first time out in the third quarter. So we came out with a lot of force, came out with intensity. I don't think we really slacked. So I thought we did a really good job. And I think when we do that as a team, then we're really hard to beat. We built a good lead in the first half and then kind of stood on that in the second half and, grew the lead even too. So it was good.
After yesterday's game, AD mentioned that communication needs to improve defensively. JJ pregame mentioned that, the communication isn't at a high level defensive team. How much was that stress for the past 24 hours?
Well, I think naturally when we were in 1 through 5 red, you got to communicate, So I think naturally that for us as a team, had to happen if we were going to succeed tonight. And I think we did a really good job communicating at a high level. I think we scrammed a lot. When smaller guys were on bigger guys, we were able to get 80 back to the hole when we needed him. But I think everybody played a really good team defense tonight. And I think for that communication piece, when we're 1 through 5 red, you got to communicate for that to work, and we did a good job.
All right, Anthony, I asked JJ first about kind of the bench guys like Max and Dalton, and he said, yeah, they were great, but then he just brought up on his own your passing tonight. He said, I think you had 40 here last time. He said the Spurs played you a lot differently, and you picked them apart with your passing. Just wondered what you saw and what you were trying to get to.
They were doubling off the passer. As soon as I caught it, they were 2 in my lap, so making the right reads, getting off the basketball, and hitting the guys that's open. But credit to these guys for making shots. So they played me a lot different. They didn't play one-on-one like they did the other time we were here, and I just tried to make the right reads.
Then getting back to some of those role players and Max, D'Lo, and even Dalton kind of stepping into the starting lineup. What did you see from some of the support crew tonight?
Played their ass off. Dalton, big shots. We do what we do. Max, Christie was unbelievable. With his defensive presence and making plays on the offensive end. D'Lo, making shots. making the right reads, passing the ball. So I think everybody, played well tonight. We played team basketball, and it showed.
Clearly, there's frustration from you guys after losing 3 straight, and it's kind of the way that you did. How significant was it to find a way to win a game against a team that had won 4 straight as you fly back home?
That was good. Get back in the win column. Obviously, it's it's frustrating and it's tough. When you lose basketball games, but it's how you respond. And the good thing about the NBA, you always got one. Either the next day or next couple of days, to kind of redeem yourself. So I think we had a solid 48 minutes. Obviously, they made a run, which every team will because it's the NBA. But we responded with a run of our own and was able to get some separation and lock down the lead.
You just kind of mentioned it's a drilling on that. I mean, you guys had a good half against Phoenix, good half against Denver, and when the push came from the other team, it kind of things sort of fell apart. As you guys were playing well, how much was consistency? Keep it going. Was that the vibe on the bench? And I guess how significant is it?
We're just trying to get good looks, run our offense, and live with the results, and put guys in actions that we thought that we had an advantage with. We were able to get some lobs, some pocket passes, some open threes, but we just stayed with it. I think we focused more so on the defensive end coming out and trying to get stops. They called the first time out, so that was a good sign for us. And now it's just about going out and executing, for the rest of the time. So, for us, we just wanted to come out with a defensive mindset, get stops, and then on the other end, execute our offense and score the basketball.
Dalton seems to play the same way regardless if he's coming off the bench starting, but what kind of different dynamic, I guess, does he add to that first unit?
Spacing. I mean, he's an elite shooter. He can shoot the basketball. I was able to get some open shots because he's setting back screens, and when you shoot the ball as well as he does, 2 people tend to go to him, and you kind of leave me open at the rim, or if their guy helps me, then you got another guy who's open in the corner on the wing. So he brings a different dynamic to us, whether it's a starting unit or in a second unit, but specifically with that starting unit, he creates that spacing for us, and when we swing it to him, he's going to knock down a shot.
JJ was talking about the kind of the game plan with the Reds, and then which presumably he's talking about blitzes and like how often you guys do that 1 through 5, and kind of with Wemby involved. What does that take, and what's your role in that, and how much communication do you have to do there?
I mean, it's very simple. Just communicating, our coverage, to the red, keep the ball in front. Obviously Wemby is, can shoot the basketball. So, we want to switch and make sure that, he's not getting open threes. His last 2 games, he shot 14 threes a game, 14 and a half, something like that. So, we want to make sure that we try to limit those attempts. And if he did shoot them, they're not open, they're, highly contested, which most of them were. So, it was a good game plan, and I think we executed it to a T.
You've matched up against him a few times up to this point. Is it jarring to see a 7'4" player taking 9 threes a game the way that he is?
I mean, it's his game. I don't, it's not on my team. I don't know what they're telling him, over here, or, their game plan, or their offensive, schemes or whatever. I mean, he can shoot the basketball, so, and nobody's blocking his shot. So, I don't know what they have him doing or what they want him to do. So it's really none of my business.
JJ, it seemed like you had several different role guys, role players, but guys step up. Dalton, D'Lo off the bench, Max. Did anybody stand out in particular, and how important was that kind of collective effort from those guys?
I thought a lot of guys stood out. The bench with Max and D'Lo were big, and especially back-to-back, coming off the loss we had last night, getting in at 4 a.m., like, you need everybody. And 7 guys in double figures, 31 assists. Really, I thought our passing, it started with AD. You had 39 here the last time we played. They were sending bodies to him. We tried to get the ball early in his spots to score, and he was picking them apart. He was just a facilitator. And look, I've only coached him 18 games now, and the 19 points or whatever he ended up with, it's not going to jump off the page. But he was a monster tonight, and he does that every night. He does everything that it takes to win every single night.
What was the thinking behind Dalton's kind of putting him back in the starting lineup at this different time? We're more at the two, and where did you feel like that helped you tonight?
Think you sometimes you just gotta like look at numbers, and we are in constant communication with our analytics group, and obviously Max is with us during games and on the road, but we recognize that you probably need about 250 minutes to really gain stuff and look at something in terms of lineup data, and we're not there yet with some of these lineups, but we felt like the DK stuff was great, and tonight was trying to figure out a way to get a win, knowing that we were going to be Reading 1 through 5 as the game plan. It just felt like a game that we could get him in there.
JJ, too. For you, one, how did you feel like, I think when we were here last time, Max had that switch onto Wemby, and it was clip for social media. It was a big play we talked about. How do you feel kind of collectively you guys did when switched on to Wemby?
Yeah, I mean, again, outside of one possession that we played zone coming out of a timeout, when they put their bench in at the end of the game, we were in 1 through 5 red the whole game. So that was going to require a lot of physicality and a lot of communication, and I thought our guys executed that to a great level. Beyond that, sometimes when you can get a little spread out and they start ghosting screens, you can get broken down off the dribble. Certainly happened a few times. Certainly we messed up a couple ghost screens and the roller got behind or the slip got behind. But overall, I thought we did a really good job of just containing the basketball and not getting spread out.
You said pregame to a question about kind of dwelling in the past that, like, that's not you. How pleased were you with your team's ability to flip the page on 3, just for different reasons, like pretty like emotionally charged losses?
Yeah, I'm very proud of our group. The response was great, and it's funny because it's literally what I talked about with them before the game. It's just you got to let go of the past, you got to let go of the recent past, and you got to get on to the next thing. And like they've done already on several occasions, they've responded.
Armel Traoré scored his first points in his career tonight. What have you seen from him since he arrived in the team?
Armel plays extremely hard. We think he's going to be a really physical defender. He rebounds at an elite level, but what jumps off the page is just how hard he plays. There's a clip that made its way internally through our staff. A number of people that work for the Lakers talked about it. He got, I think, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that in the New Orleans game 10 days ago. He gets a rebound, and we have no advantage. And he is in a full-on sprint to the corner to get to his spot. And I'm sure the tracking data had him at about 18.6 miles per hour, but it's like that's how he is all the time. And he's been that way with our South Bay group. And, he's a guy that we're very excited to see develop in our system.
JJ, the last time you made a starting lineup change based off of choice and not injury replacement, you mentioned looking for more balance what came in the lineup, but Dalton seems more offensive-oriented player. But how important is his, I guess you call it decision-making when it comes to just, when he gets the ball, he's just firing ready to shoot as opposed to, to being, deliberate or, catch and go. I mean, catch and pump, just being deliberate in that way.
Yeah, I mean, again, Cam and him are different players. It's not. I know you're not intentionally leading me to an answer here. Cam is not deliberate. Cam is not he doesn't stall out the offense. It's none of those things. I think what Dalton is a threat and a weapon, and that changes the dynamic of our offense.
JJ, I know you saw the Spurs just, a week and a half ago, but just the difference from last year to this year, and I know you didn't see him from a coaching perspective last year, but how different Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes, and Stefan Castle make this group. Just your thoughts here from an outside perspective.
They're a really good team. Coming into this game, having won 6 of their 8, some of those without Wemby. They're, to me, a very organized team, and you can probably point to Chris Paul for helping that. He's a coach on the floor. Harrison's been playing extremely well as of late, and I've been as impressed with Stefan Castle as any rookie in the class so far. He's a player.
And kind of related to that, Victor. I know it's early in year 2, but you notice him doing things already that maybe he wasn't doing even at the end of last year.
Yeah, bombing threes.